Hi everyone and welcome to this video about the 3 Divisi modes that are available in Divisimate 1.2. Essentially, with the Divisi modes you can switch between 3 different ways in which the notes you play should be distributed across your active voices. When you press the exact same number of notes as you have active voices, the modes all do the same thing. Each voice will receive one note, lowest to highest. It's when you play less notes than voices where the modes are very different, which actually makes a huge difference when you play it. Let's look at them one at a time to see how they work and for what they can be the most useful. Let's start with the new Fill Voices mode. This is a new way to assign notes to the voices so that you can go from full unison passages to spread out chords within one phrase like this. In this mode, all voices are essentially always assigned a note. If you play a single note, that note will be duplicated across the voices, meaning all routed instruments play this note in unison. If 2 notes are played, the notes will be spread evenly across the voices to create a sound that is as balanced as possible, with the lower half playing the lowest note and the upper half of the voices playing the higher note. The same goes with 3 or 4 notes up to the actual number of active voices. The notes will be spread and duplicated across the voices with a slight bias against the inner voices for a well-balanced chord. Let's check out how this works in action. So I've got a French horn section made up out of 6 instruments over here. Like other brass instruments, this is a section that will very regularly split up in the orchestra and alternate between unison passages and chords. So I will activate 6 voices and route these voices from top to bottom to my 6 horns. Now I can play a powerful unison line with all 6 horns together. And once I start to play 2 notes, horn 1, 2, 3 will play the top note and 4 to 6 will play the lower one. With 3 notes, each note will be played by 2 horns. With 4 notes we get 2 doublings and 2 single notes. Five leads to just 1 doubling. And with 6 notes, all 6 horns play a different note. Since all of this works automatically in real time, you can play phrases where you vary between unisons and different chord sizes in one go. So this is pretty fun and makes for some intuitive playing, but there cannot be one perfect Divisi algorithm for every situation. So what are the weaknesses of this mode? Well, one thing is legato playing. If you play legato passages, you will experience some artifacts and note dropouts, since in real time it is just impossible to distinguish overlapping legato notes from new chord notes. The other thing is playing very short chords. When the notes on a short chord are not released together, you'll get some note artifacts. The memory reset offers a solution for a trade-off here. With a lower memory reset, you'll have less artifacts on short chords, and with a higher memory reset, you'll get less dropping notes when you play very slow legato passages. But apart from these 2 things, this mode is quite powerful and most importantly allows for very intuitive playing, which is why this is the default mode when you open Divisimate from now on. The next mode is called Bottom Up, and this is the original Divisi mode, the one Divisimate had from the very beginning. All notes are assigned to the voices from lowest to highest. If there is a single note pressed, the note will be assigned to the lowest voice and the other voices will stay silent. That is, unless there is a previous full chord voicing in memory. If this happens in the middle of a performance, Divisimate will remember the last full chord and assign the voices in a way that each voice has the smallest leap from the preceding note. On the settings page, you can adjust the amount of time in milliseconds for the engine to keep the voicing in memory with the memory reset time. This mode is particularly precise when you primarily play the number of notes that matches the number of active voices. Since many pianists are used to arpeggiating chords from the bottom up, this method produces particularly small amounts of artifacts when you're playing chords slightly spread out. Let me pull up a different example here. Here I have a 5-part string section, cello and basses doubled in octaves in an orchestration with 4 voices. If I play one note down here, it will be assigned to the lowest voice, which is routed to cello and basses. In fill voices mode, this note would also go to the other sections, but in this case this is not what I want. I want the other 3 sections to stay silent until I play more notes, like this. So finally we have the top-down mode, which works exactly the same way as bottom-up, just reversed, from the top down. So instead of the lowest, a single note will be first assigned to the highest voice, and all additional notes will be sorted in a way where the lowest voice is the last one to receive a note. Everything else works the same as the previous mode. This mode has been requested by a lot of users, but why and when is it useful? Well, just like in the previous example with the strings, you might want to start a phrase from the top line downwards, bring the basses in last. So it allows you to play this different musical situation easily. But I have another example as well. Here's our SWAM big band template with a full band voicing. Let's say we want to have a main line that is supported by chords, not on all, but only on some of the melody notes. So here in the beginning, the melody is alone, and then for example, these notes here are supported by chords. The top-down mode is our best way to do that. First, I turn down the memory reset all the way so the engine ignores preceding chords, and then I give it a go. So here the orchestration of the single melody is exactly the same as the top line of the chords later. I don't want the full ensemble to jump on the melody line the way it would in fill voices mode, which would sound like this. And I definitely don't want the melody dropping to the lowest voice the way it would with bottom up like this. No, that doesn't make any sense. The top-down mode is our best way to play this kind of thing and keep the balance intact. So there you have it. These are the 3 Divisi modes available with the Divisimate 1.2 update. Each of them have their strengths and weaknesses, but all together they provide a wide range of possibilities for live performance and orchestration. It is an impossible task to create the perfect Divisi algorithm, and we know that we are still not done with this. But these new modes are a big step, and we hope you enjoy working with them as much as we do. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.